Welcome back in our episode of NBA 2K14. In the last episode, when we finished doubleheader on Friday, the first game, the tight game, Miami Heat beat the Clippers 115 to 112 in a close one. And the second game is this one of the most craziest game of the night when James Harden hit the game-winning shot against the Lakers down to the wire by 99 and 97, just like in real life. He was Steve Blake hit the game-winning shot to stun the Rockets, and then in the simulation, James Harden with a step back jumper near 3 point line hits the dagger at the buzzer, win by the two, 99-97, as James Harden's got 32 and 10, and Nick Young got 31. And now, next game at hand, we're off to Detroit, Michigan, as the surging OKC Thunder take on the Detroit Pistons, as the 1-3 Thunder after he lost to Dallas Mavericks, and this time under control, but the Detroit are 2-2. So for this game, Thunder gonna use the white shirts, and then Detroit you have to use the Motor City, and they're gonna take control of Russell Westbrook. That if you want saw the last video in the last matchup between March, because the Thunder beat the Pistons in a close game, 99 to 95. So it's gonna be a good game, and that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. For this game, Thunder gonna use the white, and the Mavericks and the Pistons gonna use the blue. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin, and we'll be right back after this. Enjoy the video here at the Palace in Overland Hills in Detroit. Anyways, we send it over to Kevin Harlan here in Palace in Overland Hills. Only one game at a time. Anyways, enjoy.
Hello and welcome to 2K Sports. You're watching the NBA, a Friday night NBA presentation. It's going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder up against the Detroit Pistons. And that'll do it from the studio. Let's get you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports broadcast crew at the arena. I'll see you back here at halftime.
We're coming at you from the Palace of Auburn Hills in beautiful suburban Detroit as the Pistons prepare to take the floor. Now a chance to check out our starting lineups. And as we take a look at Brandon Jennings right here, guys, what's your take?
And Jennings is a tremendously quick player, Kevin. You know, not real physically dominant. He's got that skinny frame, but he's so fast and quick that he can get anywhere he wants on offense. And then defensively, he loves to read the passing lanes, make steals, and get out in transition.
Well, he's extremely tough to stop in the open court, Steve. I mean, his finishing is much improved. When he gets around the rim, he has pretty good airtime, hang time, and dexterity to glide past defenders and finish the play.
For the Detroit Pistons, they come in off a good outing against the Indiana Pacers. And just one look at the score tells you all you need to know. They were dominant in just about every area.
I just love the rhythm they got into offensively. I mean, they really started to click from the outset, and it carried through the whole way.
And that result was indeed impressive. They basically cruised all the way home.
Smith's shot is good.
Tell you what, he is so difficult to guard, especially on a shot like that.
You know, last season, the Thunder marched their way to the top seed in the West and spent most of the season battling for that top spot with San Antonio. And it was the Thunder's play on the road that was the big difference between the two.
And here is Stuckey following Russell Westbrook's three. It's stolen by Lamb. Outside Westbrook. He feeds it to Perkins. Back to Westbrook. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Pass to Lamb. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. And it's 6 points for Lamb. You know, another note on the Thunder and the road dominance, you're always going to have to be fantastic on the road if you want to win in the West. And the Thunder, Steve, clearly the best in the West on the road.
Yeah, 26 wins for them, 2 more than the next few teams in the conference. And the only team that had more road wins than them on the year in the NBA was the Heat. So just a terrific season for the Thunder, both at home and on the road. Of course, kind of got derailed by the Westbrook injury in the playoffs.
And it's out of bounds to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Kevin, thank you. I spoke with the Pistons head coach for just a bit. He knows one of the hardest parts on scoring against this defense has to do with their prolific shot blocker, Serge Ibaka. He told me he's one of those guys who can get in your head a little bit because he's so mobile. You often don't see him coming. He has great rebound and ability to hit the mid-range, and he's always an X factor for them. Back to you.
Thank you, Doris.
Last season, a hard one for Stuckey. The Pistons finally shifted him back to his natural shooting guard position. A lot of people thought he would break out, but instead, he had his lowest field goal percentage and scoring average since his rookie season.
Cephalosha's shot is good.
This is great. Three-pointers going down quickly at both ends.
Yeah, it took them no time to answer back on that possession.
Drummond sets the screen for Jennings. Smith with the basket on the assist from Brandon Jennings. Jennings has got his third assist on the night. And towards the end of last season, Rodney Stuckey finally seemed to get untrapped.
Well, I tell you, early in his career, I really liked his potential. He's got tremendous talent. A strong slasher who can get to the line. Those are the kind of players who can usually be relied upon to produce buckets. We'll see how he bounces back.
And a new group getting ready for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for Perkins. Gomes comes in for Serge Ibaka. Roberson, he's checked in for Cephalosha. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Jeremy Lane.
You know, it's been interesting to see how Chauncey Billups' career has changed as he's grown. Early on, he was known more as an offensive point guard, and then he became a playmaker for the Pistons during that championship season in that era. And now he's really become a spot-up shooter and a dead-eye marksman for his club.
And that's not to say that he can't do anything else, but he has really stepped up his shooting from deep. Not a lot of guards can go from carrying the ball handling duty to being a catch-and-shoot guy, but Chauncey has made the transition quite smoothly.
So it's the Thunder now, following the three from Chauncey Billups. And that one's good from Fisher.
Tell you what, until this defense gets out and defends the three-point line, it's going to be a parade.
Yeah, we've already seen 3 in a row from out there. You know, the Pistons are really still a young team learning how to win in the league, but they made some strides last year because they started to win more consistently at home. And you could actually see this team becoming more consistent as the season went on.
And first timer of the game called for Oklahoma City. And Clark, you talked about the Pistons last year at home. 18 of the team's 29 wins came right here, Steve, in Auburn Hills.
Well, it'll take baby steps for this team to improve year to year. And obviously making that big step, signing Josh Smith over the summer to go along with that young talent, bringing back Chauncey Billups. I think the Pistons are really looking to make a move. But it's going to be a fun team to watch this season.
Well, as we take a look at the rankings, let's see where Detroit ended up last season. 13th in rebounding, 14th in field goal percentage. And for blocks, interior defense, not a strong point for them. Just top 20 in the league.
The Pistons making a change here. Ureko's checked in, gets it to go.
That's now a dozen straight points coming off wide open three-pointers.
You know what it looks like to me out there, guys? I mean, it looks like All-Star Weekend out there. We know how much defense is played. There is actually defense during the All-Star Weekend, no D.
The pass to Roberson. Kicks it to Gomes. Here's Roberson, who's guarded by Billups. The feed to Collison. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
The Pistons making a change here. Well, it was the Oklahoma City Thunder in their last game, a loss to Dallas.
They found themselves up against a hot team that night, Kevin, and they just didn't have the manpower defensively to shut them down.
You know, guys, I expected a little more fight out of them than what they showed us. They never strung together any stops like they needed to.
Boy, that was impressive. Major height disadvantage, but he still got the shot up over his man.
Well, he's got the poise to handle any matchup, and he's not easily intimidated. You can see that there.
Pass to Hamilton. Here's Caldwell Pope. Again, the Pistons score.
I don't know how they're going to keep this pace up. Both teams on fire here early.
And playing the game on rollerblades, too.
He gets it up. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
Oh, what a three at the horn. They end the quarter on a high note. What a big shot.
I'll say that'll put a little bounce in their step coming back out of this break.
Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. Thunder out in front, leading by 7. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute.
Monday, November 11th, the Detroit Pistons go up against Damian Lillard and the Portland Trail Blazers. Live from Portland. Don't miss it.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Thunder.
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
Yeah, I've noticed also that their quick hands have led to a lot of forced turnovers. They're getting some points in transition as a result.
On the floor for Oklahoma City, getting going here in the second quarter. Backcourt tandem, Westbrook and Jeremy Lamb. Nick Collison out there, Ryan Jones. And it's Cephalosha in at the 3.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the three-point line. That's 4 of the last 5. You're going to run those guys off the line.
I agree, and the defense is practically giving them those shots, though.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Hi, gentlemen. Well, Josh Smith with over 4 assists per game last season. Good for first among Detroit forwards. Smith said, quote, I like passing the basketball. People want to get rewarded. Guys, Smith is such a versatile big man. No surprise to see him richly rewarded with his new contract this season.
And Doris, with his great passing, he can punish teams who might double team. Good stuff, thank you.
Well, you could see it at the start of the season. Oklahoma City was being driven by falling short in the 2012 final. Their focus was on being the best team in the West, and they jumped on that goal right from the start.
Quick hands on the steal, quick feet on the break.
Costly mistake to fork that ball over and then not get back on D.
Smith with it, now guarded by Cephalosha. The shot straight from Smith.
That finish brings me back to the old days, the silky smooth finger roll.
And for the Thunder, the second best regular season record in the league last season, Steve, at 60-22.
Boy, and they had the best point differential in the league, Kevin, which I think is probably the best barometer in terms of how well you're playing. But clearly the Westbrook injury in the first round of the playoffs against Houston just completely took the wind out of the sails. And I would look for Oklahoma City to be back this year. With everybody healthy, they'll have a chip on their shoulders. They want to get back to the finals this year.
Westbrook kicks to Lamb. Back to Westbrook. Launches it. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
And now the first time out called here for Detroit. They're getting their first look at the Thunder. And
these two teams are effectively strangers to each other. Only 2 meetings all season. This is their first one, and then they'll play one more down the road.
Jennings off a pick from Monroe. Stuckey dishes to Monroe. It's stolen by Lamb. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Westbrook again, Oklahoma City. So, Clark, as Steve was saying, they don't see each other that much. What does that mean as you analyze it to the approach that a team takes coming into a game like this?
Well, you know what? It probably means they don't have specific game plans tailored in a detailed manner for each other, so you have to go back to your general principles a little more when you play an opponent you're not as familiar with. And you also then would have to make more adjustments on the fly, I would think.
The more touches he gets, the more this lead will grow. He has just been unconscious this quarter.
Stuckey into the lane. A good look from Smith. And off the ground, and in it goes. Smith's got 4 this quarter.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas. He drains those.
Right in the look for Oklahoma City. Reggie Jackson comes in for Jeremy Lamb. And Derek Fisher is subbed in for Russell Westbrook. The Thunder leading by 12. Outside Jackson. And that comes off the assist by Derek Fisher. Jackson's got his first 3 points of the game.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty. Good results right now.
Yeah, in fact, 3 3 of the last 5 hits are from beyond the arc.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope, his only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style.
I like the simplicity.
But there was some style there, Kev. It was a pretty sweet one-handed flush.
And that one's good. 6 points here for Drummond.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys. It's paid dividends.
Yeah, it sure has. But I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
Man, how about the dexterity for this big guy? I mean, he is really smooth around the basket.
Double by Fisher. Jennings passes to Drummond. And he uses the glass on the layup. Drummond's got 8 points.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
Yep, that's something that the defense has to put a stop to. Maybe a defensive adjustment is necessary here.
It's tipped. Jackson, he's guarded by Jennings. Shot clock at 6. Jackson kicks to Fisher. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. Here's Perkins. That one off the back iron and out. Pistons trail by 14. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Fader on the way. And Detroit again with the bucket.
He started out hot and he's only gotten hotter. He could be in for one of those games.
And that'll be Oklahoma City as it goes out of bounds. Time to retain possession. Jackson passes to Roberson. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got 4 assists in the game.
He's been key for this team's offense the way he's distributed the ball.
Yeah, you know, the offense is just moving through him, Steve. No doubt.
And that concludes the first half. Thunder lead by 13. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills.
Now, presented by Sprint. The weekend is finally upon us, and on this Friday night, it's time for the halftime show. A great team effort by the Thunder so far. It's been a tough start for them this season, looking to make up some ground here tonight. It's been a Russell Westbrook clinic in this one against Detroit. The bucket looks about 5 feet wide for him. He hasn't missed one shot. Can you believe it? The Pistons on the other side, not firing. They've got to do a better job protecting the ball and valuing each possession. They've not done that. Their turnover number's way too high through 2 quarters. Josh Smith, one word, domination. Shouldn't be a shock to anyone. We've seen him put up big numbers before. Checking out some of the games still in progress. Out at the Rose Garden, it's the Trailblazers in front against the Kings. About midway through the third out there. And another game going on. The Dallas Mavericks trailing the Timberwolves out in Minnesota. Things are not looking too good for them out there in the third. And here's a look at the other NBA action from around the league. Denver currently trailing the Suns out in Phoenix. A lot of ground to make up for them. Not a lot of game left. And that's all we have for you here in the studio. Now let's send it on back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke for the second half of play.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game, he has been everywhere.
All of a sudden tonight, he's become their big assist man. I mean, his passing was the key to their offense in that first half. Not something you always see.
And that's not a role he usually plays, and one I'm not sure he's comfortable in, but they've needed him to make some plays today, and to his credit, he's done it.
All fueled up and ready to go. It's the second half, courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the floor for Detroit, Josh Smith and Greg Monroe at the 3 and 4. Odney stuck out there with Jones. And it's Drummond in at the center. And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys. So that's a free basket right there.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
And that call gets an instant reaction from the fans.
That's a whistle that did not go over very well.
Westbrook with it. Rodney Stuckey cover. Westbrook double team. Here's Cephalosha. Oklahoma City the rebound. And Ibaka kicks to Cephalosha. Perkins trying to break loose. Cephalosha's shot is good. Cephalosha's got his second basket of the night.
And their offense is flowing. It's clicking right now. At the beginning of the second half, they've made 3 of their first 4 attempts. Their low post defense has to show some improvement, guys.
Yeah, of the last 10 points, Steve, 8 have come from in tight.
Westbrook kicks to Cephalosha. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 4 assists now tonight.
That's a weapon they've been allowed to use at will today, Steve.
I'll say the defense has been ineffective. Trying to run shooters off that three-point line.
The Thunder leading by 18.
The Pistons have gone now 5 seasons, guys, without posting a winning record, and they're on their 4th coach in that time. They're musical chairs on the bench. Hopefully, they'll be able to find some stability there and some improvement on the court.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. And the Pistons' long rebuild has hurt attendance. There's no doubt about that. It's dropped over 20% over the last decade. Down around 67% last season. Steve, last in the NBA.
Well, of course, this city has also been hit hard by the economy, Kevin, and that has played a role. But no question, the Pistons' struggles have led to the attendance dropping. Hopefully, this team, with the good young talent they put together, can get things turned around and get these fans back.
Here's Cephalosha, and the Thunder another 3.
Finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's having.
And Andre Drummond, the bucket on the assist from Brandon Jennings.
I don't know what's happening to their defense. They don't have any effort, any purpose.
And it's really costing them. I mean, the last 5 baskets at that end have been on very easy looks. Drummond was really playing extremely well during his rookie year, and all of a sudden showing the promise that scouts saw in him earlier, and then he had the back injury, and that really put a speed bump in his progress. Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
Here's Westbrook. It's down the breakaway slam.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Going back to Drummond, the Pistons training staff that found going into last season that despite his incredible athleticism, he did have some imbalances strength-wise.
That's something that often happens when a player comes out of college and gets to the NBA. Very sophisticated training staffs, and they find ways that players can improve athletically and strength-wise, and that's kind of scary when you're talking about Andre Drummond. I mean, as if he's not already athletic and strong enough.
This defense is giving their shooters free rein to operate from behind the arc.
That's right. I think it's time for them to start closing down. You've got to run shooters off that three-point line.
And now Westbrook pushing it up. No one back to stop him. A huge slam, the perfect end of the fast break.
Boy, extremely opportunistic defense leading to those points there.
That dunk, Clark, coming within seconds of the steal.
Love the way they convert from defense to offense.
That's what happens when you get all 5 guys on a string defensively ready to react and make a play.
.135 left in the third. Gets it to go. Cephalosha's got 14 points here in the second half.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently the team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
You know, he might be small for a center, but it doesn't really matter because he can jump out of the building.
He's very savvy in traffic. When he gets inside, has a kind of an uncanny way of shielding himself from contact and finding a way to finish at the rim.
You know, against him, Steve, as an opponent, you need to make sure you're making smart, crisp passes because he's so good at picking off the sloppy loose ones.
Back to Westbrook. It's a nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Beyond the arc. Cephalosha misses. Detroit's gotten off 4 shots from 3-point range tonight and buried every one of them. And that's an intentional foul.
I have no idea why he was fouling there.
And even the foul, I mean, you can't be wrapping guys up like that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. That's a meaningless play.
And the Thunder going with a whole new group out there.
Boy, they are just destroying them in the paint.
You could say that again, Steve. The defenders just aren't aggressive enough down low.
And that is good.
Well, solid defense. They forced a tough shot, but he knocked it down.
Find him with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Lays it up and banks it in.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
And Fisher kicks to Roberson. And that comes off the assist by Derek Fisher. Roberson's got 12 points in the game.
And what jumps out at you guys, the assist totals. I mean, they have been dominant in that category. It's the ball movement, the player movement, a great rhythm to their offense.
Clearly seems to me a different mindset between these teams.
Tough matchup there defensively. He just doesn't have the height or the length to bother that shot.
Here's the beat. Missed. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. It's the Thunder running away with it. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The 4th quarter is coming up next.
On tap next Monday, November 11th, Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs go up against the Philadelphia 76ers. Do not miss it.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the 4th quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Thunder.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
And that's helped with their passing game, too, because they're getting a lot of assists by sharing the ball and moving it.
And Oklahoma City, looking who they've got to start the 4th quarter. They've got Roberson, Jerry James out there with Hashim Thabit. There's Jeremy Lamb, and it's Fisher in at the 1 spot. Jones dishes to Fisher, feeds to Lamb. He passes to Roberson. He kicks it to Lamb, tries to keep it alive. And that'll be Oklahoma City as it goes out of bounds. Thunder retain possession. And the Thunder making a switch here. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Fades back. Cephalosha's shot is good. Cephalosha's got 16 here in the second half.
Boy, has he picked it up in the second half. He's on fire.
Stuckey into the lane. That's good.
They're taking so many shots down there, and they're knocking him down. Really good looks in the paint.
No doubt the offensive philosophy today. Pound that thing inside.
And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
You know, it wasn't that the Thunder were beating teams last season. Everybody expected that, but it was the way they were blowing out teams on such a regular basis that caught everybody's attention.
Phillips kicks to Stuckey. Dishes it to Monroe. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey. That's now 8 points for Greg Monroe. Fisher, the pass to Cephalosha. Fisher, he dishes it to Perkins. A finger roll finish at the bucket. And for the Thunder, they were blowing out teams on a regular basis, as you said, Clark, and ended plus 9.2 as the scoring differential in their game. Steve, easily the highest mark in the NBA.
Well, just think about that for a second, Kevin. I mean, that means your average game is almost a double-digit win. And not just wins we're talking about all games. So that's the result of having an explosive offense, depth, and a tough defense. This was really a complete team, unfortunately derailed by the Westbrook injury.
Russell Westbrook in from Oklahoma City.
He's been working some magic out there today, guys. This lead has been largely his making.
Won't happen right away, but Jeremy Lamb has all the tools, I think, to be a fantastic defender at the NBA level. Young players oftentimes take a couple of years to figure it out defensively, but he's got everything he needs to be elite at that end. Well, they're trailing here, but you got to admire how how hard they're playing. I mean, that kind of effort is a winning effort. They're working the ball inside and trying to do what they can to get back in.
And a different look here for the Pistons. And Jeremy Lamb, a 6'11" wingspan for this kid. He's shown promise offensively as well.
Very smooth with that jump shot. He can finish big time when he gets to the rim. Still young and paying his dues, but you got to love his upside. A lot of potential. I like that. Attack and create the contact.
Very nearly had an and-one opportunity there. Good aggressive move.
Will Bynum, he's checked in for Andre Drummond.
You know, Detroit, despite how they struggled, did a few good things last year, even though they fell way short of the playoffs. But playing against the Western Conference, playing well against the Western Conference, wasn't one of the things they did well.
Gets it to go. The Thunder have gone a perfect 4 of 4 to start the final quarter. Can't ask for anything more than that. Westbrook not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down.
This is some kind of performance we're seeing from him today. He is yet to miss a shot.
Well, as you mentioned, with the Pistons and the West, just a 4-26 record for them, Clark, and with the second worst in the entire league. Steve, only one win better than the Bobcats, who had a league-low 3 in that category. What went wrong there?
Well, it's the youth for sure. They made a lot of mental mistakes. They didn't have that one player who could consistently create his own shot and open up space. That's one of the reasons they went out and got Josh Smith to try to do that.
And some thunder on the finish.
Not exactly the way the D would have drawn that one up.
And when you got the space, you might as well throw it down. That's what I always used to do.
Perkins dishes to Cephalosha. Jacks up a 3. Gets it to go. Cephalosha's got 7 now in this quarter.
And that puts a cherry on top, so to speak. It's a phenomenal showing for them.
All over but the whining now, Steve. That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Boy, the ball movement's been fantastic here the last few possessions.
For Oklahoma City, they've gotten 7 of their 8 shots to fall here in the 4th. A tremendous offensive outburst. Those shots good from Westbrook.
Well, this is what he does. He's shooting it well. He's scoring a lot of their points, getting them in front.
Here's Siva. A minute 42 left in the 4th quarter. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
I don't know who was supposed to be on him there, but clearly a mistake by the defense.
Passes to Cephalosha. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 8th assist in the game. Here's playing away. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
Are you sensing or feeling a theme here, fellas? I mean, they're taking it straight to the bucket every time down.
And why not? And that's 8 straight points in the paint for this team. They're making this a very physical battle. This is incredible. It's been a 3-point barrage since halftime.
Yeah, whether by design or by accident, it has been impressive.
These defenders are not putting up much of a fight on the interior. It's been embarrassing. That's 10 consecutive points allowed in the lane.
And that's not the kind of streak you want to have if you're playing defense.
Siva's shot is good. 1:06 left in the game. Fires from the wing. And that one off the back of the rim and in. Westbrook's got 41. There's the double team with Westbrook. Jerebko kicks the bottom. Gets it to go.
Beautiful dish down low.
Oklahoma City's gone 2 of 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Here's Cephalosha. Again, the Thunder score.
Well, this is going to seal the deal. They've really exploded here to the finish line.
You know, once they sniffed out that blood in the water, the killer instinct came right out.
I have no idea why he was fouling there.
And even the foul, I mean, you can't be wrapping guys up like that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. That's a meaningless play.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Nick Collison's checked in for Perkins. And it's Hashim Thabit in for Perry Jones. Here's Siva. Now the dish to Jerebko. There's the 3, and that one's good.
You know, what an advantage he brings to this offense, guys. I mean, being able to drain the 3 ball, that really can spread a defense and extend the defense as well.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And that one's good from Fisher.
Well, guys, tonight they came in here and really dictated the terms of the engagement, which is very difficult to do as the visitors.
You're right. That's not usually the way things work in the NBA. It's a great win, and no question, it's going to be a happy plane ride out of here. How about that, going up strong? I mean, he doesn't care how much height he's giving up. It's attitude with him.
Again, the thunderstorm.
Look out, guys. I mean, I think there's a lot more where that came from. When he gets it going like this, it is not easy to slow him down.
Villanueva shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
It certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game.
And that'll do it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. And now we present the Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook.
So it looks like it will be dominated for Oklahoma City as they take out here in Motor City as the Thunder dominate the Pistons by 24 points. Andre Drummond's got 19, Russell Westbrook got 41, Steph got 31, and Derek Fisher's got 21 points as a huge dominant by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Next game at hand, we're heading to San Antonio, Texas. Gonna be good in a Western matchup. Features Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors take on Tim Duncan of the San Antonio Spurs. Gonna say fouls now, guys, and there we go. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin as my favorite team. Dallas Mavericks season is over as they lose to dominated by Ja Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies, and the 2025 season for the Mavericks after the last season made it to the Western Conference Finals. Actually, made it to the NBA Finals last season, then lose to Celtics, and then this year they are eliminated in the playoffs as the 10th seed lose the last play-in slot, and the first 10 seed was made to the playoffs. It was the Miami Heat. Get it done over the Atlanta Hawks. Move on and face the Cavaliers. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin as the Oklahoma City Thunder dominated the Detroit Pistons 126 to 102. I'm Andre Kenshin. Say so long to Palace and Auburn Hills in Detroit, Motor City. We'll see you tomorrow here at the AT&T Center in San Antonio for the matchup between the Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs. This is Andre Kenshin saying so long for Palace and Auburn Hills in Detroit, and now it's time to say sign up and peace out. Good night, and a reminder, if we see you tomorrow here at the AT&T Center in San Antonio for the Warriors take on the Spurs. Sign up and peace out. Good night! And don't forget, later on we have an upload for the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2025. Will be later on for the predictions, the road to Stanley Cup playoffs in NHL series. For the fourth time, I will upload the Stanley Cup playoff predictions. We'll be see you later. Sign up and peace out. Goodbye!